Like, Virtus Pro, they got a lot of the big staples. You've got the Beastmaster in the lineup, you've got that Lich. Like, Lich just seems to also be unstoppable at the moment. Or makes everyone else unstoppable in the team.
Yeah, it's I think the hero still with the highest win rate on this patch. Could be wrong. I've just seen it win so much at this major, saw it win so much at the last minor.
It's got a better win rate than Grimstroke on that lineup.
Yeah.
Also, greatest taunt ever. I love spamming that one on my PA.
Tusks is the best.
Tusk is pretty good, but like, I don't know, like the dance tunes of the PA.
I suppose. It is true. He does a cartwheel, or she does a cartwheel.
It's very, like, come on. We had dancing before Fortnite even existed.
Yeah, I really like the Prophet last pick. As Lacoste mentioned, like, they haven't lost with it yet. I think it's a lane dominator against an OD, and we've talked a lot about how VP seem to run a lot of their concepts really only work if no one has an advantage out of the laning phase. And I don't know how OD beats Prophet, especially SumaiL's Prophet. And in addition, when you run carries like JUGG and you have a Darkseer, I think you want something that helps you accelerate the tempo, and that's what EG is going to look to do here. You have this early tower push, great synergy with the healing ward. You have this potential to hit a timing where you have like a mech and a Vlad's, and it's like 12 minutes into the game, 15 minutes into the game, and I don't know if VP is going to be capable of team fighting you around a tower. They have an OD Beastmaster PA. It's going to scale like crazy, but it's going to take some time.
What items are we actually looking at? Like, let's actually just set the timer out right now and focus on the OD at the beginning. What does OD need before the push will come from EG? So we let's just say the push from EG is going to come around the 10-minute mark. What can you actually itemize for with the OD apart from just saying mass nulls?
I've seen a lot of different builds. I think the Kaya Yasha Kaya Sanj is really cool. It's definitely core. A BKB is pretty big in this game. Might even go for like a Blink early. I always love Blink on OD because it's one of the few heroes that you just use Blink so well because you can astral yourself and spam a quick cast Blink key. And outside of maybe Ion, there's certain abilities that are like frame canceling so that as you come out of astral, it's impossible for you to blink away. But I don't know if Ion Shell or Spin count. We'll probably find out as this game goes on. It's something I would need to test, but...
Does this feel really stupid?
A little.
Where, like, when you're able to inflict damage onto a creep wave that it doesn't react, so we'll just take out the entire creep wave. Pasha comes down to the bottom tower now, but...
I mean, I feel like...
he just feels zoned out so heavily, and Crit's on his job. Babysits the Darkseer, gets him off to a good start, and then TPs towards the top lane to harass Ramses out of the lane.
I feel like there shouldn't be one wave that's untargetable in the first place, especially since, you know, you usually just see people backlane or pull that second wave. I think that just weird band-aid fix is already bugged, so the fact that there's bugs within it doesn't surprise me.
Gotta keep our eyes on that top lane. The solo's rotated up, so it's try on tri lane. This feels like we're just going back to the old classic meta.
Yeah, so really cool thing about this game and like how recent patches have changed interactions. A big concern I have with JUGG in this game is getting off a proper Omni Slash. I feel like this hero, if you can negate the Omni Slash, he just doesn't have the sustained DPS to carry you through a fight. And after the change to his Omni Slash, where you no longer do slashes with attacks in the middle, you're now doing just attacks. Those do not have true strike like your slashes did in the previous iteration. So a hero like PA will actually have 50% dodge to the entire Omni Slash, and in addition, that Lich ult, Lich Frost Shield, 60% damage
But
reduction.
this is one where you can get the damage out, the spin from Arteezy, nothing could stop his movement forward to Ramses, who came just a little bit too close. The Frost Shield was wearing off, and that's why EG felt the confidence to move forward.
Yeah, it was a good play, and that's what we've seen a lot with all the JUGG picks in this tournament thus far, especially in the tri-lane meta. It's just pretty much spins off cooldown. You can find a kill in the duration of a single disable most of the time. It'll be curious to see how the mid-game, late-game engagements go, because I can just foresee an Astral on an Omni, someone tanking it with the Lich Frost armor, and then all of a sudden you're going to have an Arteezy that just doesn't do any of the damage he expected. But S4 already off to an incredible start, and I love the Darkseer versus Beastmaster matchup as this game continues. One of my favorite targets to vacuum wall.
Just able to get that easy steal. And man, like, how do you actually stop S4 from doing this when you got tri-lane versus tri-lane? Is this why Darkseer is just so popular in the offlane now?
Yeah, it's a lot like Axe, where you're not only able to backlane creeps easily, but then you're getting that extra camp.
They're going again on top lane. Solo's in a hell of a lot of trouble. Arteezy just spins him down, but it was the initial stun from Fly and the follow-up from Crypt that just keeps Solo in position.
This is a really difficult tri-lane to go aggressive into is the side of VP. You've got two very squishy range supports. So sure, if you're able to be the aggressor, you're going to be able to find kills, but that's a Tiny and a Juggernaut. I mean, Crit's just... You can't trade hits even though you're a roster with 79 base damage.
If this keeps going this way too, like eventually, okay, SumaiL, okay, OG's getting real strong with those hits, and one more should do it. SumaiL underneath the tower. No one. 6 stolen intelligence, but we're back up to top lane with the stun, but it's Virtus Pro. They're the ones to move forward, getting aggressive, but Arteezy's got the spin available. Body blocking up Ramsey's, looking for the extra damage. Roger will ensure the kill. Solo is holding onto his stick charges, and then they just turn around for more fights. Ramsey's has the life to survive and move forward to kill off Fly. Crit comes forward, but it's the attack from Solo, who gets revenge for his death previously.
In typical Kyle fashion, I say that the mid matchup should be heavily SumaiL favored, and yet no one first bloods him or kills him. Not I missed it because I was watching the tri-lane, but I imagine SumaiL just got a little over aggressive.
You could actually, well, it actually just felt like he's just standing in the lane himself. Like it, you move forward, you get imprisoned up. Just a simple denial out. But I was more thinking like with these high levels. Oh, SumaiL's dead again, I think. He's inside the Sprout. He'll break himself free so the creeps can see him. One more attack from no one will do the job. So much stolen intelligence. He hits like a truck at SumaiL. Now he's got to start thinking about, okay, where does he move? Does he actually try and influence the top lane? Do they group up and actually get that force in?
I'm not sure. I mean, the thing is, OD, like, no one's doing a great job of just orb walking. SumaiL's not able to abuse his creep waves because no one, like, he's not even drawing tower aggro. He's just hitting him. He's whopping him in the face right under tower, and there's nothing SumaiL can do other than run away. I don't really know what your play is here, Toby, because you're in a position now where you're becoming a liability.
Into a 4-position prophet. That's what I was kind of like pushing towards. Like, does the SumaiL just TP up? He did put 2 points up into the Nature's Call, so you have at least a little bit of pressure. You can apply that to bottom lane if S4 continues to creep skip. But so far hasn't really shown the desire to do so. Ramsey's trying to back up and further away from crit stun. You got Avalanche Toss available.
You just want to be a little cautious up top, I think, of your VP. Since mid is going so well, like, we've seen this a lot, but the tri-lane meta just effectively gimps the entire tri-lane. So these 6 heroes are all going to be under-leveled, they're all going to be under-farmed, and that makes no one's dominance mid even more impactful, because all of a sudden, he's twice the level of anyone in this lane. And he could be level 9 or 10 when these guys are still 4.
Tosses back Roger. The Frost Shield did come up, which means Arteezy's damage, not as much as he would like into Roger, but he's still got enough. Find a crit, get a kill. A 1-for-1 trade-off, support for support.
At bottom, we just have a total trade. Darkseer, actually, S4 rushed to Helm of the Dominator. I'm sure that may have set a record because he has picked that up, I believe, around the 5-minute mark. He's just straight up rushed it right after Soul Ring.
Well, this is the pressure he needs to apply, right?
Yeah.
VP now and start questioning their tri-lane up on top when you got double catapult waves
the dive bomb
pushing in, and yep, Pasha TP out. He's gonna go all the way back to base while top lane Avalanche is there from Crit tossing up, but once again the Frost Shield is out for the spin. Focus from Arteezy. They want that Shadow Shaman down. He's their big controller. If he can just keep the shackles up, but it does not happen. Once again, EG finds a kill. We say 5-5, and SumaiL has totally abandoned the mid. This is Jungle Prophet.
This is not what you'd like to be if you're SumaiL, but he is level 6.
He's got no other choice, right? Or else he's going to keep feeding up. Bottom tower is going to be taken out by S4. The double catapult through the work, and he's actually looking for PA. PA can Phantom Strike out, but then again, that Surge. Darkseer's got 4 points up in Surge with the Prophet Ultimate. SumaiL will join in and go against Pasha, sprouting him up and control him so S4 can just run further away. The Rod just moved into S4, needs to use the fact to cancel that one out. SumaiL has no way to escape back out. He was looking for the damage output, but He took so
Roar.
much more because the medallion was already available for the Beastmaster with Roar up and the shackles. S4 with the shock. The ball from Pasha will find the kill. Not the greatest of chaining from Virtus Pro, but it works.
That was a slight miscue from S4. I don't think he expected Roar to be off cooldown, and that can happen. You lose track of it because since it wasn't used on SumaiL, you assume, okay, he doesn't have it, but unfortunately comes up just in time to ensure the kill. And then there's this very convenient bottom shrine that they're going to collect as well. Tower does go down, as you said. PA only level 3, but that was such an important death because now Darkseer's unable to continue pressuring into the PA. He's going to collect at least 3 free creep waves because of it.
They're hunting for the kill on Shaman. That's a little too easy when Crit can see him with the tree and spawned up. They can body block out Roger. One more attack will do the work, and he actually just Wrath of Nature's him.
Yep, he bought the bracer though. Good kill, but I always respect a player that ensures he loses absolutely no gold. It's not the most important thing, but 100 gold, you never know when it could come in handy.
I just love this build over on like S4 with the Dominator up. You can just add so much pressure towards the towers. 4 points up in Surge.
Oh, look this up.
Such high movement speed with no one's movement. He'll banish him up. That's going to waste almost the entire duration of Surge. He'll have one quick push back. But with Tiny hanging around, a lot more confidence for Evil Geniuses. However, not up on top. Virtus Pro is pushing. Omni Slash out with the silence. Shadow Shaman can do absolutely nothing to stop Arteezy getting that kill.
You have to be careful with your Artour, I think.
Oh, the Raw. Pasha needs to create some space. He's got the Hawk up in the trees. He's turning around to try and battle against Fly. Arteezy and SumaiL will take care of Divorce, but Pasha, the damage output. Fly just goes down and Pasha has no TP scroll. He knows he just has to walk this off.
He doesn't even have boots. Medallion Vlad's the max DPS build possible for a Beastmaster. You can see, I think that was, what, 4 hits?
Crit and S4 are really trying to do something against no one, but with Solo babysitting him with a Frost Shield, there's nothing to come from it.
It's such a cool rotation, and no one recognizes this Darkseer represents the biggest threat on the map. I need to slow him down, and my hero's geared to defeat this guy, and Ramses is in trouble. So you give him the free lane that SumaiL had abandoned, and just do your best to get this PA into the game. And it's something that teams like VP, teams like EG do so well, where they take the hero with the big level and or gold advantage, and they use it to shut down an enemy and give their behind core some space.
Well, Crit's giving no space to Ramses, but Ramses will create his own. A blink strike back out to the range creep. But are they done just yet? As OD safe underneath the tier 2 tower away from the Darkseer. But this is that push pressure. Tier 1 tower in mid has to fall. They can open up Roshan nice and early, but this is also bounty rune time as well.
And that's a key tower if you're Dire to take, because that's the main objective that Radiant can rally to defend a Roche fight. And if you look at the lineup of VG, you have a lineup that can easily do these early Roches, especially once they pick up the medallion on somebody. I love the choice from S4 to buy the HOD, and I think he's playing this game perfectly. He recognizes, look, there's an OD bottom. I don't want to be here. Let's link mid. Immediately you summon trees, and now all of a sudden, this early HOD has guaranteed the tower kill. And, we see Faith Beyond go the Vanguard. S4 utilizing this HOD real well. It's one of those heroes. It's very game-to-game about what items are optimal, and I think he made the right decisions here.
Even the sustain, like Arcane Boots come in for the Tiny, he can start spamming out because you haven't got a lot of money into Crit so far, so he's going to have a couple of mana problems, but that's why he works with the Darkseer. The Avalanche reaches down to the Lich, and the Iron Shelled up Hellbear Smasher doing some work, but he can't do enough as no one, the back from S4, cannot back away in time. You still have Lich dying.
I'm not sure about the no one item build. Is curious to me. He's actually just rushing Force Staff after Tread's triple null. I'm getting flashbacks to that game 5 against OG at the Kiev Major, where he was also an OD, super farmed, very ahead of his counterpart in the mid lane, and he went these exact same items with, I think, 1 less null, and he ended up falling off and not accelerating like you would have hoped. We've seen Midas on this hero, we've seen rushed Kayas, faster blinks. This may come back to haunt him if he gets outscaled.
It does feel good, though, to go up against Nature's Prophet when Prophets are called. There's no being controlled inside the Sprout once he gets his crit. Surge forward, tosses back. So easy. You don't need a Blink Dagger when you've got a Darkseer level 4 Surge controlling the Shaman, hold him in the Sprout and bring him down. And it was Shaman who was committing the Mass Serpent Wars. It was VP who wanted that tier 1 tower in mid, but EG, they can rally forces so quickly and they smoke up. Are they thinking of actually going into Roshan? SumaiL cannot give them the trees just yet, so maybe this is going to be more of a hunt than anything else. 2 observer wards on fly. That'll be the perk of this smoke aggressive move.
I love what EG's doing. They're just running at Ramses. He's so far behind that he needs space alone to recover, and they're just not giving it to him. And this is a great way to utilize this mid-game lineup. Don't let the PA ever get breathing room because he's the hero that would end up beating you. SumaiL has no fear if the PA doesn't ever get the items to slay him, because that's the real target that's going to find you throughout the mid-game.
That's 2 very nice supports showing themselves in mid, but now the Radiant Observer Ward around Roshan is brought down. Heavy vision control from EG on the northern side of the map, but that's why they're trying to do this split push. So Ramses hiding in the tree lines, shows himself with a stifling dagger, crit into range, and he's able to actually hit him with the avalanche, which means the toss back into Arteezy, isolate him up with the follow-up silence. It's a trade-off kill. Actually, no, it's not. It's a Lich and a PA dying. Lich was forcing the mid out, while OD is doing the same on bottom. Fly is already down here. The stroke trying to stop him. Crit, avalanche again. It's this tiny initiation. He needs to wait a little bit longer so he can be searched forward with the Darkseer, and that's actually Darkseer who searched forward as himself. But they're not going to take the bait into both Shaman as well as Beastmaster, who's ready to fight.
You've got wards up. If you're VP, you'd really like to make the smoke move. There it is. With the roar, find a kill, get that mid tower with the serpent wards. That's going to be your play. I think you need to get no one involved, though, and he has no real method of TPing into that area, save top shrine. This could be a bit risky and might backfire because they don't have any vision in the enemy jungle. They're just blindly going to run up a high ground and hope they find somebody.
Well, that's why they have Hawks. Beastmaster always his vision advantage, and he sees an isolated Juggernaut waiting for the camp to spawn up, but it doesn't, so he must know he's visible. Mass Serpent wards down, Beastmaster still has the ward to lend in, and that's why they have the perfect chain stuns, combining with the Ether Shock. Arteezy brought down by Pasha. A large amount of money for him, but the rebuttal's coming in on bottom lane. A double damage Tiny surged forward, looking for an opening. SumaiL will join him, TPing into the tree line over on the side, but the push, it's the 4-star saving his life. The Frost Shield will slow him down, but S4, he's so fast with Surge. Solo has to let the ulti go, but they won't really get the bounce off it. SumaiL just backed off, and they still have to follow up Slow's Evil Geniuses. Another avalanche through. It connects over on the Shadow Shaman, and the Soulbind connects them all together. Toss up, throw them around, but where's this kill damage? No one's still alive. Drops the Eclipse. EG took way too long to find the kill they wanted. All they got was the Lich, but they did not get the OD. 4-star forward, catching out SumaiL. Fly will hang around. No one will turn around to join that fight, but with a buyback in from Tiny, do they worry about this? Pasha doesn't have his draw up, but everyone is available here from VP. They are ready to fight.
Solo, I feel like he gets no love just for his raw talent as a player, not his captainship, his drafting, etc. That was perfect. He peeled right before Crit's coming in range to land that stun that most likely is going to get a kill on his OD. Peels, they bait, they bring it back, and then all of a sudden Roger's there, Ramses is there, and you turn it around on your high ground near Shrine. Like, that's vintage VP. They immediately turned around as well. Like, just really good job. I think the 4-staff actually juked the stun, if I'm not mistaken.
It did.
They just played that perfectly. And I think at that point, EG, you might have to give up the chase there, but, you know, they want to kill an OD.
They committed. They were committing. Everyone was down there. They felt the confidence to fight. So you just go for it. Crit's going to look for the same thing up on top for Ramses. Phantom Strikes once again. Back to that range creep.
See, so I like this from no one. Oh, whoa.
Oh, whoa. They actually found Nature's Prophet. SumaiL underneath the Hawk wants to TP out, but the vision's available. I think he actually just dies from the Astral.
He's going for a build I don't see very often on Prophets nowadays, the Orchid Rush, and I understand because you definitely want to silence against OD, but look at the itemization from no one. He's
almost finished
exactly.
BKB.
And the concern, I don't actually know how you deal with an OD that just 4-staffs in and pops BKB. Even if you get a flawless Omni Slash off for full damage, they Frost Shield, that applies through that BKB. You won't kill him anymore.
Yep.
He's just going to ignore you as he slaughters your team.
And even if you get the initial jump and you move to another target, like, how do you focus somebody down? I love the disables that can actually pierce any kind of BKB counter from EG, or even the spin or anything, because you've got Raw, or you've got the defensive imprisonment available from OD. So EG finding that initial target, we looked to see them do exactly that on the bottom fight, and they could not achieve it.
And I like this. So VP expects EG to be in the Roche pit right now. They're going to immediately just cross-map smoke. And I'm surprised EG isn't. They know Roar's down. Wards were just used. They just had a 20 to 30 second window, and they've used it just farming. And it's a good smoke from VP. Unfortunately popped on the high ground.
They expected EG to be where they should have been. But Evil Geniuses, they continue to push out the side lanes. They're farming up inside their own jungle. Juggernaut does have the Battle Fury, so Arteezy's farm can now accelerate. And remember, he is #1 net worth on the board.
Compare him to Ramses as well, who's still the full Perseverance and Recipe away from his own Battle Fury. So he still needs time. The disparity, however, is that Pasha is huge. And S4's Darkseer, after such an incredible start, he's fallen off. And part of that is just because of how much he's been rotating.
Yeah,
this is
top lane. S4 slowed up too much. The damage output.
Yep.
It's amazing how much it is from Pasha. A full Solar Crest to go with his Vlads. Yeah. And he's going to build into a B. In fact, he's got 2 BKBs for some reason queued up. That's just going to be a double click.
Dude, I mean, minus 12 armor on that Solar Crest. Plus 4 armor to teammates and the 15% damage. Like, Beastmaster right now represents just such a switch in the amount of DPS both of these teams will do. And now all of a sudden VP's in a position, just thanks to Pasha, to do Roshan. He is level 16.
Yeah. He is rocking the levels, involved in so many just solo kills. He had the entire bottom lane to himself, and he wasn't even the one with the level advantage. It was Darkseer who was creep skipping and farming up the neutrals at the same time. Beastmaster just bought his time, and hey, a Vladimir's gets picked up, and this guy is a total boss.
And I'm a fan of VG, and I love the way they play Dota, but if I had a single criticism, it would be that they seem at times in the mid-game to just take their foot off the gas. They don't have any vision on the enemy side of the map at the moment. We're approaching 20 minutes, and bounty runes are going to be in play. You've got 3 wards on fly and a smoke, but I fear that the item, does this Orchid that they might have been waiting for on SumaiL, does that really matter when you consider there's a BKB on no one? I feel like this is the hero you're trying to take out first, and all of a sudden he's not a target. And you're going to make this play, but can you actually fight into an OD BKB right now?
It's a good question. Nature's Prophet's going to add the pressure to the side lanes. This is when Virtus Pro kind of have a weakness, and this is EG's strength. The Nature's Prophet jumping around the map, both side lanes are pressuring in, and if Virtus Pro want to go for this, they'll be under a time pressure. They kind of already are, because EG get information inside the pit. It's not from the Beastmaster, it's from these never-ending one-treants that just walk down. So VP cannot do this stealthily.
The one bright spot though, I mean, look at Arteezy's net worth. He is continuing to skyrocket. He has had a great game so far, finishes up the Sanj and Yasha. He is fat, and he is farming more at the moment than any other hero in this game. And depending on how you view Juggernaut as a hero against what VP has, you're probably confident of your EG.
We're playing in Ring a Rosie right now. EG smoke up, they'll move over, and if they get up the hill, they'll find Ramses. The blur is out, but of course it instantly disappears as they come in range. A quick Omni-Slash and find the kill, but the rest of Virtus Pro, they're coming up as well. Virtus Pro, they want to back out. They do not have buyback on the PA, and an isolated Beastmaster. Orchid up with a Chain Frost, back and back in for the wall. No one now that BKB. How big will the OD be? The shackles in the back line. There's no effect from SumaiL because Roger just locked down SumaiL, but that's why buyback and TP back in. Nature's Prophet will always be back in the instant front lines thanks to that global TP ability, but it looks like EG, they're kind of happy with getting out of here, but they couldn't do it. Crit gets visible thanks to the Hawk. The Roar will cancel the TP away to safety.
No buyback on Crit either. I think as soon as PA responds, you can just go straight to Roche if you're VP. So close. Arteezy was in a lot of trouble, but the force, you are not able to break the soul bind of Grimstroke. So no one force stabbed forwards, but it was a quarter second before that debuff faded, so it actually didn't transport him any distance whatsoever, and Arteezy was able to just escape unscathed towards the bottom lane, and now you guys walk straight into the pit. Look how tanky Pasha is. He's about to hit level 15. He's gonna have a Crimson Guard soon.
2.1k HP.
BKB's up in 10 seconds, Toby, and you don't have Omni Slash. And what is Jug with no Omni Slash?
Oh, watch this Darkseer unit. They've actually got the Sinister Gaze pulling him in, the Centaur Conqueror with the Iron Shell, not enough.
Oh no, you lost vision.
S4 back, has to actually put the wall up. Roshan is still not being done, but is buying time for Tani to respawn up. And for Profit to push bottom lane. VP, they'll actually have to end up trading the tier 2 tower on bottom lane for this Roshan. It's the oldest trade in the book for Roshan.
I think, yeah, I feel like if we were to get a stat on that, the number of times we've seen Dire trade the tier 2 bottom for Radiant getting Roche, it's got to be in the tens of thousands now. Yep. We've had a lot of Pro Dota games. I like this VP, immediate smoke after Roche.
They want to kill. Yep. They need a kill to stop EG from doing the split push.
This is the cool thing about this sort of move, though, Toby, is that you don't really need the kill as much as Roche is dead, 5 heroes off map. EG have no choice but to cede control back of the. Like, they have to leave the Radiant side of the map. Yeah. Someone will get found otherwise. So even though VP don't find anything with this smoke, look at what they forced EG to do. All of a sudden, they're grouped up. They're all positioned defensively, and now you can acquire this control and think about, okay, what's our next move? Roster wards may be dropped up top, we'll see, but you've got the lanes pushed now. VP feel a lot more confident with the way this game is going. You've got Aegis, and bear in mind, yes, Arteezy's farmed, but they do have answers. You can roar him through the... You have answers to everything Jug wants to do in this game. Mitigating the Omni Slash, roar through spin, Boar's Throw through spin.
We were debating it actually with with all the big number ones, the big core hard farmers in the game of Dota right now. What does Juggernaut bring to the fight? But it's...
Actually...
What have you got?
Well, Boar's Throw doesn't pierce spell immunity anymore. I think that was a change. Like, in the back of my head, I was like, wait, you're wrong, Kyle. Make sure. And yeah, I was.
Good to double check. But yeah, I just feel like the Juggernaut has been very underwhelming when it comes to the fights. Once the Omni Slash comes off, yeah, we could look back to like TI where we saw Miracle able to get a double damage rune and the Omni Slash off just before he was going to die. Like, this is a huge game changer, but you just have to work so much harder to make the Juggernaut work, where PA throws a SAFELANE dagger, and hey, I worked.
The problem is that SumaiL went a build that needs to snowball. And if you look at this Prophet, 1,200 health, that's a very low number for a core in this patch. And you're playing against PA. Like, this hero is... You hate playing against high reach agility carries. That's PA in a nutshell. He jumps on top of you. Who cares if you silence him? He's still killing you in a crit or two.
Let us take the tier 2 tower in mid, and already they have to retreat. Top lane was being pressured. Was the Juggernaut doing that? Nice scan from Dire. EG no, but he's still walking into it. Is he trying to bait this one? The Soulfire down from Fly. They can get the double silence off, but no one just BKB. S4 has to turn away, but the Eclipse! Crit and S4! Say goodbye, Sunny Jim. Arteezy's at least able to spin out this one. He has Omni Slash available. A lot of units to work against. Does he just let it rip? Maybe now while the Chain Frost is bouncing back over to him. He can't get away. SumaiL's trapped in both wards and his own trees. That's what gave him the vision inside. No buyback for SumaiL. This looks horrendous.
That is all because Ramses is showing mid that he's not there. EG feel confident. Hey, we've scanned someone that we can go fight. But Crit, like, if you're gonna make that move, you gotta blink up the high ground or something. You can't just walk forwards and get roared. Like, that was a no-brainer. And then you blow the Grimstroke ult on nothing as well. That's a Rax.
That's 2. It may actually be 2. 43 seconds before Prophet's up. The BKB's up cooldown in 13 seconds time. Okay, TP's already going out from Shaman. He won't be involved in this one. But a full Scythe device 25 minutes in for OD? You can feel like no one still wants more. The BKB is off cooldown.
It's so cool though, like VP does so much. This is one of the things this team does best, is they just seem to have this natural understanding of what everyone needs to do on the map. So even though they're still mid as 3 heroes, Roger's already pushing top, he's collected the bounty runes, Posh is killing bottom shrine like 5 to 10 seconds before they actually evacuate the base. Just really, really efficient. You still have Aegis, nope, just faded. You're gonna have, wait, why did Ray just go down? Somebody died recently.
It's still on PA. It's still on PA.
Wow, I was just surprised they didn't give it to no one. I figured he was having such a great game. You might want to make sure
he's got 55 seconds left on it, but yeah, they won't get much out of it.
Actually going Manta on PA, it's curious. It's to deal with the Orchid, of course, and it also has the added benefit of possibly disjoining and or squandering a couple of those Omni Slash strikes, which, again, I keep bringing this up, but thus far, even though Arteezy is so farmed, what's his impact been in this game?
There was one great Omni Slash on top lane when he hit level 6 and he found the Shaman.
Yep.
That was it. so far.
And it just feels like, again, EG, you've got Prophet, Darkseer, Jug, and from the 10 to 18 minute mark, it felt like there was almost no aggression output on the map, and somehow VP, like, this Roche is so key. Games are ending so fast, Toby.
Yep.
Aegis controls everything, and all of a sudden, you have a level 20 Beastmaster and OD parked outside your base, and I have no idea how you fight them.
You kind of don't. Prophet's taking the tier 2 tower up on top. S4 wants to delay it with a vac wall. He'll only end up catching one, and the Hex onto Tiny came so quickly. They'll drop the Sanity's Eclipse, and Tiny, the Crimson Guard, won't protect him. Even the Sinister Gates pulled S4 back into the fight, so no one with 24 stolen intelligence and the jump forward. It's a blink on Shaman at the shackles. This may just be the game right now. They're battling under the Mass Serpent wards. The push on top lane. SumaiL refuses to be involved. He may be able to take something. Nope, Ramsey's TP's back. He'll get the defense off, but still, bottom lane of Rax is taken.
Man, and these teams have played each other for a long time. They've got a rich history against one another. I don't know what the record is currently, like, on this season. Wait, no, but VP beat them the last major, right? Was it 2-1 or 2-0? I think it was 2-0.
I cannot recall.
I can't either. There's too much has happened.
Don't worry, you'll have the Haas on the panel. He'll remember.
We gotta save some things that he knows.
Yeah, it's true.
There's not a big pool we're drawn from. Just kidding, Alan. I love you.
We love you, Alan.
It just
don't give Mr. Tension, Mr. Teacher.
I'm not sure if EG really felt comfortable with this lineup. Just the way they played it, the way it's been itemized. You've got an HOD Crimson Guard rush on S4, right? But then SumaiL's going Vlad's into Orchid.
Yep. And Arteezy goes for the big late game build as well. You're not going for this aggressive style. It's the Battle Fury into heavy farm. So maybe it was meant to beat the 4-man gang squad. But then again, the blink on Tiny, the blink on Crit came so late.
That's where we saw in a similar game, I think, Shadow. I know Liquid lost, but I've seen other Jugs go, say, Yasha into the Battle Fury, just so that they have that, you feel much more confident cementing your lead in the mid game and actually taking objectives, pushing the limits versus just farming passively.
He really wants this, but that's a double damage over on Ramsey, jumping in deep. The Soul Bind is quite decent, and Shaman's already popped off. The Chain Frost will be dispelled, but Crit, the damage output onto him is just way too much. Yeah, I don't know how you sustain against that. A double damage PA that EG willingly fought into.
Yeah. And look at the way, we talked about Omni Slash, but look at the itemization. You've got a Lotus Orb and a Crimson on the Beastmaster. Solo's running around with 3 Bracers and a Ghost Scepter.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, every single hero, with the exception of Rasta, who's just 80 behind, has more HP than SumaiL.
Everyone's on the same page for BP. They know they need the survivability. As long as they've got that, then they can continue to take these fights. They'll continue to dominate the map. They're going to take all 4 bounty runes as well. I love how the stun as well from like Fly is like, I'm wondering if someone's going to be around here. I need to stop them from getting all 4. Takes the 2 on bottom.
They've got to smoke, and I think EG, you got to look to do something. 2 racks down. Roche is respawning in 2 minutes. That cannot be given away. A Cheese OD and an Aegis PA is almost certainly the end of this game. BKB flying out to Ramses as we speak.
The courier flew over from EG. It flew over the observer board that's inside their base. And while
BP's 5, they know it.
While they didn't use the smoke that was on the courier, they still ended up smoking, and the courier was revealed. He had the BKB. He knew they would jump in on him. Chris, the Sprout tries to protect him from SumaiL, but it cannot do anything. Chris out 50 seconds. The Stifling Dagger split out, and the Eclipse. They just can't walk away. Evil Jesus. Sinister Gate dragging S4 back in. He wanted to fight around his own wall. The TP, no, the shackle. It cancels it out. Hex up Arteezy. He's down for the count. Buyback is available, but really, this game, it's over. Like, VP are way too strong, and they're going to come for the GG push now.
What a play by Ramses. Like, the balls on this kid. That's the sort of play that I'm not even going to try to make. BSJ tries and fails and dies, and Ramses just casually, he's like, you know what? Well, I just got my BKB, I'm trying to use it.
Ramses is a professional player. Let's just throw that one out there from your 2 examples you had.
That's just game. All right.
Tier 4 towers, they're already going down. A Crimson Guard protection from S4 will delay things up a little bit, but you know they want to fight again, and the intel is still built up. It's 44 intelligence on the OD. He wants to fight. The spin damage is actually quite good, but now the shackles control even better. GG, well played. Virtus Pro, they look strong, they look in control, and Evil Geniuses, well,
Man.
they need a plan that they're all together on.
Yeah, VP played great, and not to take anything away from them, but that was just it felt like a strange game to watch. I
Your fate arrives.
They still ended up smoking, and the current was revealed. He had the BKB. He knew they would jump in on him. Chris, the Sprout tries to protect him from SumaiL, but it cannot do anything. Chris have 50 seconds. The stifling dagger split out, and the Eclipse, they just can't walk away. Evil Jesus, Instigate, dragging S4 back in. He wanted to fight around his own wall. The TP, no, the shackle. It cancels it out. Hex up